We're live. How's it going, everybody? I don't know. I don't know what else to say. How is everybody? We're a little bit unprepared today. Well, not really, I guess. I just didn't get the live stream queued up early like I like, so people can find it a little bit earlier. So there's not as many people here early. But hopefully everybody's well. Whoever is with us, make sure to give this live stream a like. Yeah, I was going to say and or comment, but you can comment in the chat, I guess. Just basing around. Hello. Where is everybody? We're going to just ask everyone to let me know in the chat room where you are. You know, we do this every time. I always look for people in weird places. I want to know if anyone's watching from Azerbaijan. Maybe you're in Fiji or somewhere interesting. Sean, hello. Ben, hello, sir. I'll be back in a moment. Just about to pick up the Spire IR2 and studs. Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston's actually a nice place. I kind of like to go to Charleston. I think that's a place where I'm welcome there as a white man. Tim Ball is in Idaho. Joshua Tree. That's a good, Joshua Tree's pretty good. It's not, it's not Azerbaijan, but it's pretty good. Charleston, West Virginia. We got two Charlestons in here, but different Charlestons. New Jersey, Oregon. Juan Martinez says, I was thinking about buying a second paintball gun. Do you think the Shocker Tax is a go-to? RSX. Okay, there we go. Man, I don't know. I mean, where do you even find Shocker RSXs anymore? Ontario, Canada. One. I don't know. An RSX? I mean, I'd just try to find a newer version. I mean, you can get the amp for pretty cheap, I imagine now. I mean, I imagine amps you can find out there for about $500. I'd probably rather spend the extra little bit of money and try to find a newer version of the Shocker. The amp is certainly a better version than the RSX. Hello from Spain? Federico, hello. Where in Spain? Not that I know a lot of cities in Spain or anything, but I don't know. Another Canadian. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about, we don't have a lot of, not a lot of paintball stuff happened. We got Aftershock coming back. That's kind of cool. Hormesis dropped a duel video. And then there's also another Archie Montemayor versus Ryan Greenspan one-on-one video. I really liked that one. That was pretty good. That's about all, I also intended to try to get a little bit of Virtua Paintball in. Virtua Paintball is a new, multi-platform game for paintball. And I wanted to play it, but I don't know. I guess you can't use... I assumed it would work on a Mac because it's with Steam, and they, said it was cross-platform and was going to come out for a bunch of stuff, but apparently it only works on Windows, so I don't own a Windows computer, so we're not going to play that. What is everyone talking about? Any players yet for Aftershock? No, I don't. Not yet, really. We'll just talk about Aftershock. So earlier, I should say last year, man, I ate a bunch of vegetables, and I have little vegetable bits in my mouth still. The hell am I talking about? Chicago Aftershock. Earlier this year, last week, it's kind of like when you write 2023 on everything. We don't really write that much anymore, so it's really kind of not a problem. But earlier last year, late last year, Todd Adamson, legendary Chicago Aftershock player. Todd Adamson's been around for a very long time, also playing on the 10-man Chicago Aftershock team, although I don't know if they call them Chicago when they're playing 10-man, but certainly playing for Aftershock. He purchased the level professional spot. So he purchased the pro team Columbus level, and then they're renaming it Chicago Aftershock, which I don't know. I think it's probably kind of cool for paintball in general, mainly because, Aftershock's kind of, like I said, a legendary paintball team. And they kind of have probably a bigger fan base even than Level. And Chicago Aftershock haven't played pro since 2018. But they just have so many long-term fans that have been a fan of the team for, decades. I mean, Aftershock was a pro team for, 25 years or something like that. They were one of the better teams in the 90s. And then it played pro really until 2018. In 2018, they got relegated down to the semi-pro division. That was back when they were taking that two lowest teams and forcing them out of the league, kind of like they're doing now, I guess. They're doing the same thing. But they were relegated in 2018, and they decided to fold the team and just not play semi-pro, which kind of sucks, but it's kind of understandable as well. I mean, that team's typically always been like the topper tier, we'll say, or middle tier at least, of the professional division. So going back to semi-pro, it is a little bit weird. So Todd Adamson, he's going to be teaming up and heading up that team. Not 100% sure if he's going to be coaching. He'll kind of just be like owner or probably main guy in charge. Rennick Miller. Rennick was actually the original owner of Aftershock. And Rennick's still going to kind of be involved, I believe. I think he owns part of the team, or they're going to share ownership or something like that. But Rennick will still be involved. They're going to play out at Badlands Paintball Park out in Chicago. And it's not really the only team they have either. Under that Todd Adamson umbrella, there's going to be Chicago Aftershock. There's also D3 and D4 kids, Aftershock kids. So they kind of have three teams in there. And then Todd Adamson also owns a professional spot in the European NXL, the National X-Ball League Europe, or the European National X-Ball League. I don't know, one of the two. But he purchased the Camp Pendleton Raiders spot last year. The Raiders were actually in 12th overall in Europe, kind of right in the middle of that pack. So it's kind of interesting. I'm curious to see. I don't really know what's happening with the Raiders. I presume they'll still be maybe called the Camp Pendleton Raiders or the CP Raiders. Camp Pendleton used to be a paintball field, but closed, I want to say mid last year, maybe early last year, 2023. And I presume they'll still be called the Raiders. Maybe someone in the chat knows. Is he still going to be calling? Let me know in the chat if anybody knows if the Raiders are still going to be called the Raiders. Because I would assume, if I was him, I'd want to change the name to Aftershock so that we are kind of evenly represented. It's not like having two separate teams. But we don't know the rosters at all yet. Level has not lost a ton of players. They did lose Danny Schoenberg, Danny Schoenhauer. The elevator person says it's going to be Aftershock EU. Which could be interesting because I imagine, let's say Level, right? I don't think Level, they didn't really fully gut the roster, and I don't think that they've really announced, or they really haven't announced who's going to be on that Aftershock squad, at least in NXL, the NXL here in the US. But it would kind of make sense also having two separate Aftershock teams, kind of maybe like a US version and then like an American version. I think mainly just because it's expensive to get guys to travel, right? It's very hard to get just all these people over into Europe. So it's possible that they might have different players over there in Europe, but I don't really know yet. But it's really cool to see Aftershock come back. So I like that. I think that having these historic teams that have kind of been around paintball forever, were kind of names we're used to seeing. I like that, right? It's good to have the Ironman and Dynasty and we'll say Aftershock, like Impact. Impact, I guess. It's good to have those legendary historic teams. So I like it. Delma in the chat says, Dizon to Shock confirmed. Well, we'll see. What's Salt Life say? You said, I don't think Aftershock is going to do that well under they grab some current stars, and I doubt they can afford that. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, to me, trying to purchase 2 pro teams, right? If you're trying to buy 2 NXL teams, like 2 pro teams, I'd hope you got some money. I mean, you're kind of going to need it, right? I mean, it's just expensive. Whether you're playing people or not, it's just going to be expensive. Nick Sloviak right there in the chat. I was watching Nick's video earlier. I don't know what to call it. I was watching the video where you guys were like hanging out in the underground bar. And I was kind of confused in the end. You're like, the bar's closed and it's the weekday. And I was like, damn, how late are you guys there? I was like, is it like 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock? But Nick Sloviak's a former Aftershock player. And I think that would fit him well as well. Because Nick left the Ironman this year, or got like cut. I mean, they just got rid of everybody on the team. So they would kind of, make maybe a good fit over there for Aftershock. I'd like to see some of those older teams come back. Jeff Knapp says, Todd hasn't given too much info yet. The next few weeks will yield much more insight. For sure. I mean, I'd hope so. NXL Vegas is coming up pretty quick here, so hopefully. Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's where he was. Hey, Juan says, Juan's got a gun question, and I will answer, Juan, if you wait, give me a minute, and I'll answer whatever question you have right there. But let's talk about it. I want to see, let's read Aftershock comments, see what people are saying. A nerd in New York City says, I would love Trauma to come back. That's probably not going to happen. I think I have a Baltimore Trauma jersey in my closet, actually. I was thinking about going to grab it, but we could not. So it'd be cool. I really like to see some of those Aftershock players come back. Maybe I'm trying to remember who was on the roster, most recently. And it's I don't know. It was Zach Patient. We talked about Zach Patient. Zach Patient played for Aftershock. I don't think he's going to be playing though, right? Didn't he get busted with he got busted with some kilos of coke a couple months ago. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work out. Juan, you asked, hey, I have a question. I'm trying to upgrade from my Ether 3M mechanical to an electric marker. Would you recommend for me? My budget is around $800. Man, $800 is a weird price. I mean, the problem is $800. I think if you could bump it up to $1,000 or $1,100, that's probably what I would do. I think that right now for new guns in that price, obviously that Shocker Era, wherever my Shocker Era is, that just came out. That's very near that. It's $1,000, right? Shocker Eras are $1,000, right? $995. Shocker Eras, I mean, just everything's just $200 above that. But if you're looking for new guns, there's just nothing really that's $800. DSR plus $1,000, or 180R is $1,100. Those are the ones I do. I don't know. Or the Axe 2.0. The Axe 2.0 is pretty cheap. The Ether 3.0 or the Ether 3, those are $550. But there's really nothing that's right at that $800 price. So who knows? Got lumps for you, Paintball. How are you, sir? Are you ready for a new dog yet, Brad? Nope. You miss seeing him. Yeah, so do I sometimes. That's been a while, man. It's been 2 years. Actually, almost exactly 2 years. I think that we lost Link the 15th or 14th or 9th or something like that of 2021. No, 2022 it'd have been. At some point, I just don't want to deal with a puppy and a new dog and stuff. I just don't want to deal with it, really. So who knows? People are talking about Harris Hussein. I saw another Harris comment. Where'd it go? Delmont says, hearing Harris Hussein is considering playing for Shock. Isn't he on the ML Kings? Yeah, that's what Ryan said in the chat. Harris is on the ML Kings. Are they renaming the Miami Kings as well? I didn't know that. Well, I've kind of heard that, but I didn't really investigate or look into it much. Miami Kings. I don't even know what ML stood for. Maybe it was like some... I don't even know where they were from. They're from like the Czech Republic or something. Jeff Knapp. Harris is talented, but toxic, unfortunately. You know, I don't really know. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know him at all. I would say he's good at paintball, for sure. I mean, he's obviously probably better than most of the people in the league. Not most. Like, he's probably better than, like, 60% of the people, right? He's in that top 40, 30% of people. And I think it's just because... I don't even know. I really don't know. I think that what happened was that NYX... I think that we see Harris on the field, right? And you see his, like, outspokenness and his, like, you know, antics on the paintball field. And then his team not doing so well. His team, you know, NYX Extreme didn't do that well, right? I mean, they were probably underperforming. And then Harris left the team. And then NYX started doing better. So, you know, it leads a lot of us to think that it's all Harris. You know, it's all his fault. But I don't know. I don't really think so. I think that when you listen to him talk and stuff, to me at least, he always seems like he's trying to have fun and he's in like a good mood and he's like, you know, jovial and stuff. So it seems that that's probably not true, you know. But I get it. I mean, that's what people have always said, but no one really knows. You know, this is people on the internet. It's like idiots like us saying that stuff. It's not people who know him. Sean says, I met Harris in person. He's a good soul. Yeah, I don't think that, like, he's necessarily bad. Because I know for me, you know, in real life, like, I'm not trying to ever fight people or get in arguments or, you know, I just don't care. But certainly on the paintball field, you know, I can get a little riled up sometimes and get a little excited. Like, last weekend, some people overshot some guy and he turned around and started shooting back at people. And I was like, oh, I used to do that all the time. Like, start fights and stuff. But it's something about paintball, you know, and just having that adrenaline rush and, you know, people shooting at you and stuff that gets you a little maybe more excited than it probably should. So I don't know. Old Soul, second year, they had a coach that watched every game from Go Sports booth. Yeah. And Rich Telford. I always find it weird that Rich is like New York Extreme's coach. And like, he doesn't really, but he's not really with the team, you know? Like, I feel like he's always in the announcing booth. And if you'd want to be like a good coach and hands-on, I feel like he should be with the team more. So he's kind of like more like an offensive coordinator or something like that. He's not necessarily probably like head coach stuff, because, you know, head coach, if I was the head coach, I'd be with the team all the time. We couldn't really have a second job. It'd be a little bit too distracting. Jeff says, being a good soul doesn't make you a good teammate. I'm just saying. Kinda, though. I mean, I get what you're saying, for sure. I mean, for sure. But normally if you're like a good person, you're a good teammate, because that's kind of what requires you to be a good teammate. But I hear you. That's true. Rich is definitely always in the pits at the like, during their matches, but I don't know. I just feel like, you know, if I was announcing, I'd be so distracted announcing that I wouldn't be like able to focus on like thinking about game plans and like what's to do. I don't know. What else do we have here? Let's watch this. This is in the, this is in a, oh my God. I have my headphones monitoring right now. I gotta turn that off or it's gonna sound crazy. This was really good. I actually really quite enjoyed this. I mean, we've talked about watching these one-on-ones, quite a bit. Oliver Lang's, one-on-one tour thingy. And they did kind of these, like, I don't know, exhibitions or whatever between... This is so loud for me. I gotta turn it down a little bit. There we go. That's probably good. Oliver's just like one-on-one tour. There was a video last week we also talked about where we watched... Who the hell did we watch last week? Was it last week? I don't know. Maybe I deleted it already. I guess I did. Yosh Rao? Yeah, Yosh and Alex Fragi. That's right. That's what it was. And this is, I mean, honestly, this is like probably one of the better matchups we could watch. Archie Monomer versus Ryan Greenspan, two of the best players ever to play paintball. Going into this, I kind of wanted to think that Archie would win. I think that... I was thinking about this. I was like, Ryan might be a better overall paintball player than Archie. I mean, barely. But I do think that Archie's gun skills, like, snap shooting and gunfighting and stuff, are probably one of the best. I mean, there's probably not a lot of people better, maybe two guys that are better, and I don't even know if I could really name them. I just don't want to say he's the best. But one of them certainly is. Well, not one of them certainly is. I don't know. Someone certainly is. But I would definitely go watch this. This is over on the Hormesis YouTube channel. It's pretty easy to find. You just put like Hormesis Paintball in or something like that, and we'll find it. You'll find it. It's pretty easy. But we do have a super chat, so we're going to switch back totally and to see what the hell's going on. Steven Jackson. Thank you, sir. With a $1.99 super chat asking a question. Is the R2 the fastest loading hopper? I don't know. And that's a good point. We were talking about that the other day at the paintball field. Because, for a long time, I have not liked the rotors. Something about the rotor. Let's scrub through this. Man, I don't know. I wanted to try to, find a specific point in this. I don't know, but I thought about when we were watching. We'll just let this play. I thought about when I was watching this that I was like, man, I haven't used a rotor in so long, and I kind of like the rotor. I like how the rotor's built really well. I like how it's constructed. It's just made really well. But I haven't used one in so long, mainly because they jam often. So I was thinking about that at the paintball field. I'm like, I really or the paintball store the other day, I was like, I really want to try to use one of these. And then holding the R2 in my hands, I just hate how it comes apart though. I think that I would probably rather choose the LTR if I was going to go with any die hopper. But I don't know if it's the fastest. I mean, it's either going to be the R2 or honestly the Halo 2 or the LTR. I'd say the LTR, R2, and the Halo are probably going to be probably just as fast as each other in that low 20-ish balls per second. And I'm not sure I could say, I couldn't tell you which one's faster. I think that even if we had a bunch and we tested them, they'd probably all come out very similar. It's certainly going to be faster than any of the Spires, certainly faster than the TFX, it's faster than the Sonic. It's definitely faster than all the other hoppers, except for maybe that Halo 2. But the Halo 2 is a goddamn boat. I mean, the thing's massive. So it's just freaking huge. Halo R2, fastest hopper? I don't actually know. Go find this and watch it, though. There's a part where they argue and stuff, and I really kind of liked it. Man, I like how they have the camera set up. I think that having the drone shot is a really good idea. Because with that drone shot, they can stay right behind the player, and then as the player moves, you can kind of pace behind them and then see exactly what they're shooting at. It's much better than these static shots. See, kind of like that right there. how that drone kind of followed Archie a little bit. It was a little bit too quick, maybe. A lot of these points are really fast. I mean, one of the things that kind of sucks, though, the beginning of this match, Ryan had all kinds of gun problems. I think that he was trying to use a triad, the JT triad, and I'm pretty sure the triad was having problems feeding, not necessarily like... If you look at the drone right there, it looks kind of cool. Ooh, a bird? Yeah, it just kind of sucks he had gun problems in the first half of this thing, or loader problems. Here we go. Here's a problem. We can see Ryan have some gun problems off the break here. Or maybe not. Maybe this one time it worked. Damn, dude. Like, I can't imagine being, like, that good at snap shooting and gunfighting and stuff. It'd be crazy to me. Like, I think I could score at least a point. But I think by the time at the end of the match, it'd probably be like 1-14 or something. I could probably like squeeze in one lucky ball off the break or something like that. But go to the Hormesis. Go to the Hormesis YouTube channel. There's a link in the description. Go watch this entire video. Yeah. Just go watch it. There we go. It's paused now. What are you guys talking about? I think he had 4 different guns. He definitely had at least 2. I think he got one from Oliver or something like that. Jeff says, the Halo 2 reloader B or 2 stuffs paint down the throat. Damn, the reloader B. I had a reloader B. I had multiple reloader Bs. I remember they were clear, and I kind of had like a speckly one. It was really cool. Jason, it's time for some juicy one-on-ones. Instead of these team members, we know who's going to win. I would have liked to seen Archie versus Nick Sloviak and a rematch of Greenspan versus Dizon. I just want it to be good players. And I thought it was kind of weird, you know, in this one, though, how they're teammates, you know, so it's a little weird. Whereas I'd like to see, you know, people on different teams play. You know, both them being from Dynasty makes it a little bit odd, but I'd certainly like to see more of them. I mean, I really like the one-on-ones. I think they're great. I mean, I hope that we do see more of it, and I think that we might, you know. There was... the whole reason this thing exists is because of this right here, the grand finale. And I was saying we might see more because if you notice, it is on the Go Sports YouTube channel. The actual, well, one of the final games, I should say, or some of the final matches. But this is made, I would say, better, obviously, than what we just saw. It's not dramatically different. Well, yeah, it is, I guess. It's the same kind of format and, you know, one-on-ones and stuff. But there's a lot more explanation. There's, you know, Oliver talking with Maddie and Oliver talking some more. It's certainly a little bit more edited. We're going to get in trouble for music, potentially. But this was the one-on-one. This was the grand finale for that Hormesis tour, the Elite Tour, I believe they called it. The Elite 1v1 Tour, it was right there. At SC Village in Southern California, a.k.a. SatCon Village. But this was another very good one. But I say we might see more, yeah, because it's on Go Sports channel. So it's possible that Go Sports is maybe looking more into this format, which is good. You know, I think it makes sense. I mean, we talked about it last week, or a couple weeks ago. If we go over to the Go Sports YouTube channel, if we go like that, and then we go like that. I mean, hands down, the most popular thing with 2.2 million views compared to 687,000 is the Ultimate Shootout. You know, I think it kind of proves that people want to watch the one-on-ones, whether it's us paintball people or people just from outside of paintball stumble across it. And it's easier to watch because you know what's happening. It's one-on-one guys. It's not like 5-on-5 and stuff. So there's not as much chaos happening in these one-on-one formats. So I want to see more one-on-ones. I hope they do, I don't know, I hope they do something at like, NXL Vegas or something or other. Jeff says, the triad is in the hands of pro teams. New version. We'll find out. I mean, I don't know. There's been like new versions multiple times, unfortunately, and they haven't even released the goddamn thing. I mean, they were supposed to release it like 2 years ago. It would be cool to see some barrel footage. For sure. Problem is, barrel camera footage doesn't always look that good, and I don't know. They could easily do it though, for sure. It would be cool. Salt Life says, I would like two big formats again. The 7v7 or 10-on-10 pro games would be much more entertaining, while enjoy 1v1s that are close anyway. Yeah, I mean, it would suck if it was like 10 to 0. I don't know, though. I mean, you can watch 10-man. I mean, the ICPL is a thing. The World Classic Paintball League's a thing. The ICPL, I mean, Go Sports is putting the ICPL on TV or on, the webcast or gosports.com. And I think the biggest problem with 10-man is it's just so goddamn big. I mean, the fields are just so big that it's just kind of hard to watch. It's hard to know what camera angles to do. And, there's 20 people on the field. So it's like, there's just so many people. It's just hard to film it. I rather play 7-man and 10-man personally than 5-man or the one-on-ones, but it's just so difficult to film 10-on-10. It's just the field's just so goddamn big. It's crazy. Attack says, the big difference with paintball today versus 10 or more years ago is regular people can easily afford a marker that shoots 10.5 and is reliable. No more needing to pay $1,000 to have a decent setup. You're 100% right. And I actually filmed a video yesterday asking just that question. I planned on I was going to do ETHA 3 versus CS3, and I was like, what is the difference even? It came down to the point where it's like, which one shoots better? Well, they're the same. I mean, does it have more firing modes? No. I mean, is it more consistent? No. Is it more air efficient? No. They're the same. It's like almost everything's the same. So it's gotten even more difficult to say why you should buy a high-end gun because, like you said, there's so many good affordable options. I mean, it's crazy. 10 years ago, maybe if we went like 15 years ago for sure, because 10 years ago, I mean, you could buy an Empire Axe, so there were kind of some options. But certainly having the DSR, the shockers out now are inexpensive. There's quite a few options that are $1,000, really say, or under, that are just as good as the high-end guns, or like 98% of them. So I love that for sure. I mean, you're definitely right about that. But we still get people complaining about how expensive paintball is, which, I think until it's free, I think that people will complain about it being expensive forever, unfortunately. Jeff, fill the caps between events to make the viewership grow. I don't know what you mean by that. Fill the gaps. There we go. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, right? That's a very good idea. I think that I don't know though. I'd like to have them it'd be cool to have the one-off events if it was one-on-ones. But they could also very well, film some one-on-ones at the NXL events and then put them on, upload them in between the tournaments for sure. I kind of want to see one-on-ones, a one-on-one only event. Maybe we will though. I know that there was talk about at NXL Vegas. I don't know if it's going to be this year or next year. But there was definitely some sort of talk about having an exhibition somewhere on the strip away from paintball tournaments, away from the paintball tournament, so away from actual NXL Vegas location. That would be very, very cool. I think that one-on-ones, dude, I'm all about one-on-ones. Nick, what'd you miss? Not much. One-on-ones. Someone said they wanted to see you play somebody. What'd they say? They said, I want to see Archie versus Nick. Everyone wants to watch you play a one-on-one versus Archie. I probably got my money on Archie. No offense. We could play one-on-one. I might shoot you once. Yeah, once. International Amateur Open 1v1 event at Mardi Gras. Yeah. We need to bring back Mardi Gras or the International Amateur Open, the IAO. Where was the International Amateur Open? Was it like Indiana or something like that? Curtis Sims with a $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Managed to pick up a DSR off eBay for $400. That's pretty good. Lots of affordable used, but good markers that route? Like you're going to route the competition? Is that how you spell that? I honestly don't know. Yeah, there's lots of good used stuff for sure. I mean, my own problem with used stuff is that, like, you know, maybe for you or for me, or for, you know, probably 98% of you in this chat, buying used stuff is a great option. But we, I think, know what we're looking for, right? So if I look at a gun and I'm like, that's probably a little bit too expensive or a little bit too cheap, you know, if I know how old it is, if I get it and it has a leak, I kind of understand maybe what I'm looking at or what to look for. But I always think for new people, like new players, it's probably always better to buy new stuff just because you're going to have less problems, right? It's going to come with warranty and you have service and stuff like that. Whereas if you buy something like used, it just gets more complicated and it's a little bit more difficult for, like, you know, new players. Think about myself, man. I bought all kinds of used stuff when I started and it was terrible. Nick, what'd you say? I've had good luck against Archie at tournaments. In a straight 1v1 setting, I feel confident. All right, let's do it then. I was thinking about that, and it's like, oh, I did think about it. I wonder if I can find this really quick, though. I was thinking about, like, yeah, let's just watch Archie right here. And I think it's funny, right? Like, Nick can shoot over every bunker. Nick, can you shoot over a can? If you're just standing without jumping, can you shoot over the can? I mean, maybe you got to lift your gun up a little bit, but Archie, you know, can shoot, like, not Archie, but, you know, Greenspan can shoot over every bunker, where Archie can't really. I mean, he can shoot over the little temples and stuff, but he kind of has to, like, go up on his tippy toes a little bit, and I kind of think that that's a disadvantage because he can't really utilize all the bunkers the same. So it's kind of one of those weird positions where, like, it's good to be small, but it's also good to be a little bit taller. Because when you're taller, you can just get so many of those different angles. Yep. I can jump shot over a can, brick, and the wedge. I don't know if I've ever tried to... Dude, the wedge is huge. Actually, I don't know if I've ever tried to jump over the wedge. I can shoot straight over the can. I can just be like... And I can, like, stand on my tippy toes and shoot over the can. That's pretty exciting. Although it's really hard to shoot down. I kind of end up shooting straight. So I kind of can't shoot at people close. Yep. I can shoot over a pin. But it's like watching Bridnikov in The Snake. And I'm like, he's like standing up. Or like watching Axel at like a small cake, like stand up and shoot. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, if I stand up, it's like up to my, it's like below my waist. It's like this much below my waist. Like I'm on a knee. I'm on a knee and I'm like as tall as he is. It's kind of crazy. All right, Not a standing wedge. Okay, okay. I was like, damn, the standing one? I was like, because I mean, you can like shoot over the corner, like that angle, whatever. That's funny. Jason says, X-Ball was modeled after hockey, but it's missing the excitement from hockey fights. One-on-ones would be that equivalent. You know, it's kind of crazy how they're like getting rid of fighting in hockey a little bit. Was it based on hockey? I don't know. Because doesn't like hockey have like 3 periods and stuff, and it's got 2? There was the penalty box, though, true, back in the day, too. And we don't really use that penalty box anymore. Ryan says, I can jump shot the cake. I hope so. Shit. I have to, like, belly crawl the snake. Axel Godin is a beast. Yeah, Axel's crazy. Who is Axel playing for? Because Axel, I totally forgotten. Because Axel played for the Tauntauns. Is he still on Impact? Because Axel like quit Impact the like day before the tournament or something. I don't know. And then he started playing for the Tauntauns at World Cup. Did he say if he's playing or who he's playing for this year? Maybe I totally missed that one. I don't know. Someone's got to know. Nathan says, I thought Tipman is where it started when lumber guys were using markers in the woods. I don't know. Like they were chopping down trees with the Tipmans? I mean, maybe. Tauntauns, but left Impact for Cup. Haven't heard any updates. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, you know, Axel's been playing with the Tauntauns in Europe. Everyone's confused about lumber guys. Lumber guys. I kind of like lumber guys. They just kind of sounds good. Yeah, but Axel's been playing with the Tauntauns. Obviously, Axel's French, so he's been playing with the Tauntauns for a long time. And I'm pretty sure played with the Tauntauns for a long time, these past few years even, in Europe when he was on Impact. And I really, 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 really wish the Tauntauns would play in the U.S. Oh, I don't know. I really wish like that there were those spots available this year. I mean, there was the level spot we were talking earlier that Todd Adamson bought for Aftershock to bring back Aftershock. And I kind of would like Tom Cole, president NXL man, to allow those spots to be sold. I don't have any problem with people selling their pro spots, but I kind of wish that they would like maybe offer it to European teams or something. Not that, you know, the Tauntauns could afford it, because, you know, flying over the U.S. 5 times a year and staying here for like a week and a half at a time is obviously expensive and hard to do for a lot of guys. So, but I would really like to see that. The 2 comments right there. Jeff says, the original pursuit marker was used for marking trees. And then Nate, right below that, Nathan says, hence the word marker. How is that like confused? They're also using it to mark cattle too, right? Something like that. Axel is limited to which teams he can play for because they have to be planet teams, so there isn't any issue with a Tauntauns contract. I don't know. Is that even true? I know we hear about that, right? And it would make sense. But, like, I don't know. Does he even have a contract? You know, like, I don't know. I mean, some of these pro guys don't even do contracts and stuff. They're just like, oh, yeah, we'll play for you. So I don't even know. I mean, if I was pro, I would want a contract. I would want to know what I could do and what I couldn't do. But typically that's probably true. I mean, we normally see guys like guesting for teams that only like use the same equipment as their, you know, main team or something like that. Who knows? NSG Splatmaster was the first marker designed for paintball. What does NSG stand for? Richmond Italia's Canadian. Sure. Where do I sign? Nick says. He said ISO team. He's in search of a team. National survival game. There we go. Oh, there we go. I was like, I know it's survival something. It's also hard for me to think during live streams. I'm not really thinking. Nick, it shouldn't be hard for you to find a team. I presume. Everyone wants to see you play for Aftershock. Schwartz says, I'd love to see you play for Aftershock, but if you coach Blast Camp, that would be cool too. Yeah, I also heard of that. Well, that would be good. Huh. I like that idea too. Coach Blast Camp. Play 10-man? No, I don't know. Because it would suck not to play like NXL, right? But coach Blast Camp and then play 10-man with Aftershock. Steven says, I still have a Splatmaster. Huge plastic handgun. Looks like a RoboCop piece. So the Splatmaster, the NSG Splatmaster, let's look at some pictures of it. Oop, I cannot type. What was, okay, that's exactly what I was thinking about. I'm all over the place. Look at this. We still got this playing in the background. You know, I always get like some of the Splatmaster stuff confused. I just don't know like a heap about all this like old stuff, but that's it right there. It's certainly not the only Splatmaster though. With the rapid clip, the rapid clip or whatever. There's a Splatmaster. There you go. Yeah, these things are crazy. I mean, when they shoot, it's like, like you can like feel it in the hand. It like vibrates super bad when you shoot these things. Lots of old paintball stuff. Anyway. The Splatmaster does look like RoboCop gun. I don't even, does it? I don't know. I can't even remember what RoboCop was. Except all I remember is the gun comes out of his side. Like, RoboCop was a weird movie. I mean, I remember watching that movie when I was like a little kid and just being like, this is crazy. It's very weird. The kick with dry firing sucks to be in my 40s. Well, I'm not in my 40s yet. Getting close. Speaking of your 40s, if anybody, let me see here. What are we doing here? Let me, I don't know why. Speaking of your 40s, but. Kabingo. Let's see what this looks like here, actually. I'm kind of curious. I was kind of hoping this would not look like that. But if anybody likes to support this channel and, you know, maybe want to get some cool exclusive content only for Patreon, for people on Patreon, I would love it if people would at least go check out the Patreon page for Paintball Ruin My Life. There are 3 different tiers here. I see some with a super chat. Hold on. There are 3 cool tiers here. You got the supporter tier, which is, you know, just $1. You kick down $1. There's a silver fee, or I guess there is a fee. It's $5. There's a silver tier, which is getting you early access to videos about a week early, total ad-free, so you're not going to get YouTube ads or any other ads that are inserted that I do. Longer edits of stuff, and a special role in Discord. You get private access to a Discord channel for Patreon members only. The same stuff is going to apply to that gold tier. But I'm going to add more kind of exclusive content to that gold tier. So I'll have like behind the scenes stuff, as well as those longer edits for like gameplay stuff. There's going to be a longer edit coming out kind of soon for like why high-end paintball guns still exist. Also going to do monthly giveaways. The last giveaway was for a bunch of paintball DNA stuff. You got a Jolo hopper. There was a gun stand in there. You got one of those blunderbuss barrels, some keychains, some thread saver, a fill nipple cover. The next giveaway will be this coming Thursday, I believe. Yep, right? Where the hell is my calendar? I don't even know the date. It's the 11th. So, yep, next Thursday on the 18th, there's going to be another giveaway for the Carbon Nano Barrel. So any of you guys who are currently supporting next Thursday in that gold tier will have the opportunity to win a Carbon Nano Power Inserted Barrel. I think that's what we call those things. So please, if you want this thing, if you like this thing and want to support this and maybe want to get a little bit of extra paintball stuff, definitely check out Patreon. There's a link right in the description of this thing. At least go over there. You can kind of like get an idea of stuff that, I don't know, that I've posted on there. You get to watch that where I broke the solenoid wires on my Shocker Era. That video is not out yet. Please go check it out. Patreon, Paintball ruins my life. There were some super chats. You guys are freaking awesome. Let's see here. Jeff Knapp, I appreciate it, dude. With a $10 super chat. You're the highest tonight. I was looking at the time. Thank you, sir. Love the content. Well, I appreciate it. Steven Jackson says, I'll sign up for the silver tonight. Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah. That would be awesome. Ben says, RoboCop kicks ass. One of the best 80s movies. Archdog. Drinking 40s, like 40 ounces? No, like, I think I'm talking about being old, like 40 years old. Makes me feel like an old man. What else can we talk about? I don't know. That's about all I've got. I guess I could delete that. That doesn't really have to be there. Yep. Mickey's 40s. You know, I don't even know if I ever... No, I probably drank a 40. I mean, probably been like 20 years. Maybe not 20, but somewhere around there. 15 years. What do I have? Aftershock's back. The Duel. We already watched The Duel. Archie versus Ryan. There's also, if people, Patreon, not Patreon, but if anyone want to take part in the Discord channel, we also have the Paintball Ruin My Life Discord. If you want to hop into the Discord, there's a link in the description to check out Discord. Let's try to open the Discord right now. Manuel says, are you still rocking the Geo4 as your gamer? Does that mean, like, am I using the Geo4 as my main paintball gun? There's Discord right there. So I would say Discord's fairly active. I mean, some of you guys there's some people chatting in here right now rather than watching the live stream. There's a bunch of different areas too. You got your Patreon people right there. We got video suggestion area. You got a pump section, MagFed, all kinds of stuff. You can actually see the other things that I am in. The MKBHD, the 9 Club. There's the Virtua one. What's this? The Paintball Arena. General. Yeah. Discord. My promotions. Steel Reserve. That I definitely had. I definitely haven't had a Steel Reserve, that's for sure, in a very long time. But am I still using my Geo4? No, definitely not. You know, I bought that gun and used it like twice and had it for maybe about a year. And I was like, why do I even have this? So I sold it maybe like a year ago or something like that. I just never used it, you know. I mean, most of the time when I go play paintball, I'm either using stuff that, you know, I'm doing for review. So like this Sunday, I'm going to use the Shocker Era when I go out. Or I'm just using my like EMEC, you know. I just like the EMEC. I like playing mechanical and I like how it's inexpensive and the thing works perfectly fine for me. You know, and I'm mainly just playing on rec fields, so it doesn't really matter. Dude, I'm 47 and I still play and ride mountain bikes. Well, I hope so. I hope to be 77 and still playing paintball. Actually, I don't really care if I'm 47 and playing paintball, but I still hope that I'm like, you know, riding my bike and, you know, I don't know, just being an active person, like hiking, and I'm able to do all those things. We'll find out, though. Jeff says, I ride a snowboard weekly and you're 47. That I don't know, man. I'm so scared of getting hurt, though, now. Like, I'm so, like, weary of getting hurt. And, like, I don't know if I could do it. Like, skiing, I haven't snowboarded in forever. I mean, I've only snowboarded, like, a handful of times. But I can certainly ski. But it's been a long, long time, and I don't think my legs could take it. I don't think I'm, like, in shape enough to be able to do it even. I think if I would, like, my legs would probably just turn to jello and I might fall over at some point. And it just kind of freaks me out. Like, I don't know why. I mean, back in the day, we used to be going in between trees and, you know, doing all kinds of crazy shit. Now I'd be like, the lodge looks nice. Very funny. Connor, I like Mechmos too, but I have a Vanquish. You know, I really like the Vanquish. And a TM40 Electro. I really like the Vanquish. It's, you know, talk about like Empire dropping the ball. People were kind of on and off about the Vanquish. I really liked the ergonomics of the Vanquish. I think they shot well. I really like the Vanquish. I'd really like them to bring that thing back. I would enjoy that. Also quit dirt biking, and after fracturing vertebrae in my neck. Yeah, dirt bikes are gnarly. I mean, I think about like, you know, cycling and riding my bike on the road, and like, dude, it is dangerous. I mean, people are so bad at driving that it's like, I don't know, you're like gambling with your life in other people's hands. It's just terrible. I'm 47 and I need a backiotomy. Doctor said I need a backiotomy. Damn it, you distracted me now. Oh, Manuel, I appreciate it. The $1.99 super chat, of course. Thank you. Doc Fire has a new... I want to watch backiotomy videos. Doctor says I need a backiotomy. Shit. Dude, I used to watch this movie so much. I mean, I've probably seen... What am I doing here? I've probably seen Half-Baked. I mean, I'm not 100 times, but I mean, probably like 40, 50 times, something like that. I don't know what's going to happen when we watch this. We might just get taken off the internet completely. But it's okay, because we're commentating. This is when Dave was funny. I want to talk to Slamson. Damn, where's the horse scene? I mean, the horse scene in this movie is like the best thing ever. What was this search? Oh, that's not how you spell that, but... Hose. Oh, this is like one of the best scenes in any movie ever. And I don't know, we might just get taken off the internet for this, but we're gonna see how it goes. It is so good.
You must have been so
Harlan Williams.
Oh. Buttercup! Buttercup! I need an ambulance! Now! Officer down! I repeat, officer down! What the hell did you give my Buttercup?
I just gave him some candy and some chips and some pink popcorn and some buckets.
This one is a diabetic!
I love it.
Buttercup! Buttercup! Don't you leave me! Breathe, Buttercup! Breathe! Breathe!
It's so good. We're just gonna watch movie clips from here on out.
Under arrest!
What?
You dumb son of a bitch!
No! I'm a peaceful man. I'm a school teacher.
Shut up! You're a cop killer!
I love horses. I love horses.
I love horses!
I love Buttercup.
This is the best part.
Cop! Say it!
Butternut.
Cop! Cop!
I love it. Then he goes to jail. It's so good. So for any of you guys that are like, 18, you're like, what the hell are they talking about? Go watch the movie Half Baked. It's actually good. It's probably pretty good still. I assume it holds up. It's very good. Dave Chappelle's in it before it was Dave Chappelle. I want to talk to Slampson. Like, fly me to the moon like that bitch, Alice Grampson. I love that movie. You hungry, girl? Hungry, girl? It's so good. Anyway. Friday, for sure Friday, but that's like a classic movie. Dude, Half Baked, you had to probably be like the correct age for that to like hit right and to be like perfectly. Doctor says I need a backiotomy. Is it Alex Frampton? That's funny. It makes me think of Peter Frampton, and I'm like... Anyway, no more movie clips. We won't have to watch any more movie clips. So good. Oh, look, we already got a thing. Heads up, we've detected video in your stream that belongs to somebody else. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. If you plan to continue, please ensure that the content owner has added your channel to their allow list. Oh, I get it. They're going to take us down. This is what sucks about the internet. Step Brothers, also a beautiful movie. Grandma's Boy, an even better movie. Well, I don't know. Step Brothers is really, really good, but Grandma's Boys is great. You got like JP wearing all this like, like Matrix gear. Grandma's Boy's great. And you got Dante. Man, those were movies from like when I was like 20. So like they're like perfect for me. And they really don't make any good movies like that anymore. I was listening to somebody talk about movies, and they were saying that like the reason they don't make movies like that anymore is because nobody rents or buys movies anymore. So like they don't make any crazy movies anymore. They don't make like weird movies that might do terrible in the theaters, but they have like a obvious fan base that's going to actually purchase the movie to buy. Whereas, now everyone just streams everything and you're not actually buying anything. So they need to make movies that get like millions and millions and millions of people to watch them. Rather than beautiful movies like Grandma's Boy or Half Baked. They're not going to make movies like that anymore because they're not going to do good in theaters and stuff. It's fantastic. Old Soul says, I made the mistake of renting Half Baked and Dude. Oh, and Dude Where's My Car to watch, and I got my wisdom teeth out. It hurt to laugh. Dude Where's My Car is also like the stupidest movie. I mean, I've seen that like once or twice. I couldn't like, I don't remember it like I remember Grandma's Boy or Half Baked. Dude, Dante in Half Baked, Dante in Grandma's Boy is like the best character ever. Zobit says, yeah, they can't make money on the back end with DVD sales. So it's a huge risk to make anything now. Yeah, for sure. It sucks. I hate it. You know, most of the movies that I like enjoyed when I was like, 14 to 25 or whatever, they just don't make. Like, they just don't exist anymore. I don't know. Our attention span sucks so bad. They killed Killer Bee. I vaguely remember, Ben. Thank you, though. Killer Bee. I don't remember now. I know I can like visualize that part from Half Baked, right? That's what like I don't remember their names in the movie, but they had like that Mexican guy. I think that he was something. It's probably been like 15 years since I've seen that movie. The masturbation scene in Grandma's Boy was so funny. I don't really remember. I don't really remember. I like vaguely remember. I can't like visualize it in my head. The Rottweiler. Okay. All right. I remember. Anyway. Man. They just don't make funny movies anymore. And now everyone just wants to watch stupid TikTok videos. And I feel like I'm going to want to kill myself every time I go on TikTok. That's why I don't go on TikTok. I'd just rather die than watch stuff on TikTok. I feel like people are like... I just feel bad for people. I feel that like everybody just does everything for views now. And it's like, I'm going to just act like a complete idiot and just have no self-esteem and no like, what's the word I'm looking for? People that have no like, you have people that have no, not self-worth. I don't know. People just doing everything for views and I hate it. Now you guys are quoting a movie, and I don't remember. Corey says, I'm putting up my Christmas tree. It's July. No, not Substance. Pride, that's a good one. Pride's a good one. What's another one that's similar? Shame? Yeah, that's also a good one. Maybe it is Pride that I'm looking for. Let's ask ChatGPT. And that's another self-respect. That's a good one. What are some words that mean self-respect? Dignity, the integrity? I guess those all work, yeah. All those words work, I guess. Yeah, it's just terrible, man. Everyone's just doing everything for views. And unfortunately, I don't do anything for views, I just am an idiot. ChatGPT is kind of crazy, you guys. It's kind of wild. I really like it. I think that Google is dead, and the days of search are done. Search is gone. Definitely not genuine, that's for sure. I mean, so many people just do whatever for views, It's like, and I don't get it either, because there are things that a lot of people aren't even interested in. Like, I couldn't imagine, like other people have talked to me about, like, oh, have you thought about starting other YouTube channels or doing other things on YouTube or something? And I'm like, no, not really, because, like, I just have no desire to do that because I'm not really interested in it. So I'd kind of like to just, do things that I'm interested in. I don't know. That's why we are here. Keep up the stream alive, sir. I don't even know what I said to make you say that, but okay. Integrity. Integrity is probably the word I was looking for, old soul. There you go. They have no integrity. I was going to say they have no chutzpah. Dignity, that's also a good one. They have no honor. Or self-worth, that's kind of, I don't know. That's not a good word. I don't know, I feel like this is boring because I don't got anything to talk about though, guys. So I'm kind of fully reliant on the chat room to give me things to talk about. I was trying to think of some cool questions. I don't know. We can just sit in silence, see how long people will stay here. Okay, that's long enough. Give me your paintball questions. Who's got paintball gun questions? Let's go with paintball gun questions. Let's go with maybe you're trying to start a paintball store or a paintball field and you've got some questions. You know, I can for sure answer your paintball store questions. Connor says, any opinion on Lux likely using the Arab bolt in the icon or the idol? I've got all day. I'm watching you on the clock. I think that they're doing that. I do think you're right about that. I think you're right. I think that you're right. I think that they are going to use the same internals. Which, I don't know. I kind of have mixed opinions about that, right? Like, I kind of like how it's the same in a way, right? Like, I think that Planet Eclipse, let's use them because they do that. They're, I think, the only company really technically doing it right now, unless the idol comes out. But I kind of like it, and I don't like it, right? I think that they've obviously found a bolt system, like Planet Eclipse, right? They've obviously found the Gamma Core bolt that works very well. So I think it's a good idea to put something that works very well into a gun, right? It's better to use something that works well than not. And we know the Gamma Core works. The Era bolt, I don't know what they're even calling that bolt system, but the Era and the Amp bolt, they're good. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're bad. So I think it's a good idea to use like the same bolt. But I also think at the same time it's kind of lame, right? Because, you know, if I'm buying an Etha 3, right, for $550, and then I'm going to buy a CS3, you know, for $1,750, I mean, that's a shit ton more money, right? I mean, that's 3 Etha 3s. But they come with like the same bolt, sorta. It's not like that much different. So you're like, what's the point of this? You know, it's like, you know, buying a really high-end car, but it's got the same motor as like my, you know, Civic or, you know, my, you know, Prius or whatever. It's like, shouldn't this have like a higher end or like a better version? So you'd think that, like, you know, with these higher end guns, I'd kind of like to see a more difference between them, right? So I think it's good while they do that because they're using, you know, maybe more stuff they found to be more reliable. But at the same time, it kind of sucks because, like, you're like, why, you know, it's the same goddamn gun. So, like, why am I going to spend the extra money on, you know, whatever gun while the cheaper version has the exact same internals? I mean, close to the exact same. Close enough for that to say they're the same. So, I'm going to sneeze. Trying to sneeze. Am I going to sneeze? Might be passing. So I don't know. Like, it's cool and not at the same time, and I don't know. Who knows? Am I going to play Vegas? No, I'm not. I'm not going to Las Vegas. Scott says, I had or have the HK Rapid Valve in my EMEC. It was fun to tinker with, but not practical. Balls would fall out of the barrel. Really? Velocity issues and chopping a lot. Switched back to semi. Huh. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's having problems double feeding or something. It's obviously not handling air correctly. You know, I thought about buying one of those too, and then I saw Planet Eclipse's, like, you know, warning thing. They're like, you know, we don't really like this because they didn't really like true full auto where you just hold the trigger down and it's like, it just shoots like crazy. Mainly 'cause it's not safe, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of true, huh? So, it does kind of suck. It's like, whatchamacallit, they just released, let's see if this pops up. Or did I delete it? It was like, oh, we're not going to ever talk about this again. I think I deleted it. Like Paintball Gateway just came out with their new Paintball Gateway. Man, I just deleted everything. Normally I don't delete everything. Normally I like make it a little longer. There we go. They came out with their Whisper Drive bolt for the EMAC, the ETHA 2 and the EMF 100 that apparently makes it around 8% more efficient and lower pressure and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, hopefully those things work at least. I don't even think those are out yet. Grayson says, I just started playing paintball. What do you think a good starter marker would be? Maybe a good mech speedball marker. Well, for certainly, I mean, the best beginner mechanical gun out there is either going to be the EMAC or the ETHA 3M, and hands down the ETHA 3M. I think the ETHA 3M for an extra $100, it's $400 is a very good deal. It pretty much has all the upgrades you could want for the EMAC. It's kind of done and extremely good. And then I think if you want like a speedball specific electric gun, I'm in that beginner category. I'm probably going to go with the Mini GS. They're very good deal right now. I think only at $300. Or the ETHA 3 is $550. Those are the like 4-ish guns I would look at. That's what I feel like. Old Soul says, I'd rather have an RT so I could bounce it and get a single shot. That is true. You can kind of do that with full auto too, though. You just like, you know, you can still like shoot, you know, dink, 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 dink like that. Ben Lawton with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I've outgrown my HK Army Expand pack and looking to upgrade. Any preference for larger size gear bags like the GX2 Virtue High Roller or a die? You know, I don't know. I haven't felt all the gear bags. I mean, I've had the same Planet Eclipse bag for like 8 years or 9 years, and it's like perfect. I have zero problems with them. I really like the Infamous stuff, but it's so expensive that it's just kind of like crazy. The same with the die bags. The Virtue bags are certainly not as good. I mean, there's no question that GX2 or those Planet Eclipse bags are made wildly better. The die bags are made really well. So are those Infamous gear bags. But I don't really know. I don't have like, you know, I've not touched all the gear bags because gear bags are one of those things that there's also the push ones. Push bags are also made really well. Gear bags are one of those things where like I've never, working at a paintball store, owning paintball stores, we've just never had all the bags because they're such a big, huge item. You know, it's just kind of a big ass thing to have. But I certainly like the Planet Eclipse bags the most, I think. John Walters says, Ben, get the PE GX2. I get frustrated with my Virtue. Wish I would have got the GX2. Yeah, there's no question that they're made really well. Those Infamous bags are made. I like the Infamous stuff, but it's just so expensive. It's a little do. Who knows? Push, yep, we already said that. Push Push, push. It kind of matters how big you need, too. Because some of the bags are just freaking huge. Some were just like overkill. Yep. Let's look at, I want to look at the push gear bags. Let's look at push paintball and infamous paintball. I'm curious. Because there are two companies that I don't really have like heaps of experience with either of these bags. I've definitely seen more of the infamous stuff than I have push, though. Let's make that go away. I really do like their marker bags. But again, right, like these are really expensive, $70, where you can get, you know, the like Exalt cases are $40. So it's quite a bit more. So this is their big, huge one. It's $329, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be extremely close. Oh my. Lifestyle? Gee whiz. Gear bags. You know, the thing that I like about the infamous bags is that they're just made well. And I really like the material that they come in. I mean, obviously they have this, which is probably my favorite. I really like how it has like the backpack straps built in and stuff like that. They're just made well, and they're pretty cool. But they're just really expensive. I mean, these are kind of just like an open pit as well. So you don't really... I don't know if you need a laptop sleeve. They're just too much money. I mean, $350? It just seems like too much money. I prefer the Planet Eclipse GX2. What are these, 230 or something like that? 240? 250? Yeah. It's $100 less. I mean, it's pretty big discrepancy in price. And I wouldn't say that there's really any difference with like quality. It's not like the Planet Eclipse bags are lower quality or inferior quality to those things. Jeff says, I travel with gear for 3 players. Size matters. Oh, yeah, I imagine. I bring 1 tank, 1 hopper, 1 mask. I bring one of everything. And I don't even need half the bag that I have. I actually have the old Planet Eclipse, what they call it? Split Compact? Well, some of these places say they have these in stock, and they're definitely not made anymore, which is odd. But this is the bag that I have. The Split Compact. It's kind of hard to tell, but it zips in half, so you can kind of see right there. You can zip off the top, and then it's just a small gear bag on the bottom. This is my favorite bag. I really like these. I really like them because I can kind of carry more stuff if I need to, or I can just zip off the bottom and just take this bottom portion. I think this is the best bag ever. And mine's probably 2015, maybe? Maybe it is 2013. I don't know. Maybe it is 10 years old. It's this color, but in gray. Or it's this pattern, I should say, but it's gray. Not like that. Oh, no, I have this one. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I have. Split Compact. That's my favorite bag. Because it's modular. The old school Eclipse distortion gear was the best. I don't remember even. Yeah, Just Lumps for You said, I'm too cheap. I use my old hockey gear bag from Goodwill. Yeah, you don't need anything special. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know really why I have a gear bag. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. They just don't. It's just, I just do. I kind of like that split compact. I kind of separate camera stuff and paintball stuff in there too. JW says, what does that PE split run? They just don't make them anymore. I don't think they made it in 8 to 9 years. But they were $200 or somewhere near that when they were out. I think for a very long time, the Planet Eclipse bags were all $200. Use like a tote. You get like a plastic, carry like tote thing, like one of those plastic bins or whatever. You can just close the lid. A lot of people use those plastic things. They work perfectly fine, I use cardboard boxes a lot of the time. If I have like tons of stuff, I'll put it in cardboard boxes. Which probably, isn't like the best way to carry stuff around. So. MLG Scout. Scooty? No idle news. Nope, not yet. I mean, all that we know is that it's coming out. We do know that Adrenaline are going to be making a custom version of the Idol. We talked about that a little bit last week. But that's about all we know about that, too, is there will be a custom version of the Idol, but we're not entirely sure. From Adrenaline, there's a rumor we were talking about a little earlier, too, that it's probably going to have the same bolt or maybe like a slightly better version of the same bolt that's coming in the the Era, the Shocker Era that was just released. And, hopefully the Era is better. I mean, I got mine and I broke the solenoid wires and it's leaking out the barrel and leaking from the solenoid area. But it's so hard to tell where it's actually leaking from because, you got to put the frame on and then you put air to it and it's just like... So... I don't know. It's kind of confusing. It makes it a little bit difficult. Rinse your gear before stowing. Clean it when you get home. Any bag will work. Yeah, I don't clean anything ever. Yeah, I don't wash my paintball stuff. I think that a lot of people don't. If you're like an old school paintball player, you might not. There we go. Adrenaline says, our bolt is really different. You heard it here first. Like it's way different from the Idol? Like the Adrenaline Idol is going to be different than the just regular Lux Idol? I don't really remember the TM40 bolt and like the Adrenaline. I mean, I know it had like that coating and stuff. But my memory is so bad. It's going to be different. Cool. My memory's just so bad. I don't remember anything. So, like, stuff happens yesterday, and I'm like, I don't even remember anything. I need to, like, write stuff down when I'm doing it to remember, or something. I don't know. Fatima? I don't know. Fat Ema. Your videos are the best for paintball. Well, thank you. There's some other good people, too. I think Matt the Gym Rat, he's out there. He's making good stuff, too. If it's the same, I'm going to die. Oh, whoa. TM40 had a hybrid face to prevent rollback for mech and the coating. I just don't even remember. Bad memory equals too many headshots. I'm just an idiot. I was just born dumb. That's really all. What was I going to say? Yeah, Connor said, if it's the same bolt, I'm going to die. Yeah, which sucks because, like, most of the companies that make these private label guns or whatever, they're all just literally the exact same thing. We talked about that last time. Adrenaline's like the only company that's actually, like, making private label guns and trying to actually change things. They're making it actually, like, custom. Everyone else just changed the look. Which, I mean, technically makes it custom and unique, but... I like the new HK Army backpack. One that is only $100 and doesn't hold a ton, but it's enough for the most. The HK Army... Shit. The Expand backpack, probably? the Expand backpack. I think it's cool. I like that because you can kind of like push out the bottom and make it bigger. Planet Eclipse used to have a backpack like that too. I don't know if they still do or not. Porta says, I met Matt the Gym Rat at Paintball Fit. He's a cool dude. Great baller. Yeah, he's definitely better at paintball than I am. That's for sure. I don't even like play airball or anything. So you want to watch my gameplay footage, and he'll go make gameplay footage and shoot 3 guys a game, and I'm like, I almost got someone that time. What do I think of the USXBL? I don't really know. I think it looks cool. You know, it's far away from me, so I don't know anyone who's played it, or I've never been to it or anything. I mean, it looks good. You know, it's kind of, I think, neat. I don't know if it's neat. I don't know if it matters that much, but it's kind of good or interesting, we'll say, that Mike Hinman purchased the UXBL. So maybe there'll be some sort of WCPPL USXBL tie-in. It looks great. I mean, I don't really know, honestly. I love my HK Expand roller bag. I took it from New York to California to Asia, packed with gear, and it survived. Packed with paintball gear? I don't know if I've ever taken any, like, paintball bags on planes. I mean, I've flown with gear bags, but that's like, you know, stowed under the whatever. Which yours is too, I guess. You're not going to take that big-ass roller bag carry on. You're like, why can't I carry this? That's funny. BDSM gear. I don't know if I... What is BDSM? BDSM. What does that stand for? Bondage, discipline, dominance, and submission. Although, what? BDSM stands for bondage and discipline, dominance and submission, sadism and masochism. That's not a good acronym. It's like a bunch of extra words. What do you get? Gimp mask? I don't know what you guys are talking about. This was just this week. It was checked the entire way. Oh, okay, cool. Where in Asia? Why'd you go to Asia? Asia's such a big place. It's like, I went to North America. You're like, did you go to Guatemala? Did you go to Toronto? You know, it's a big ass place. And I don't know what's going on. The Philippines. Cool. I've never been to the Philippines. I've been to Asia. I've been to, Jesus. China, Hong Kong, Taiwan. I was in Japan for like 24 hours, so it doesn't really count. Fuck. Thailand, Laos. Although we shouldn't say Laos, we should probably say Laos. Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia. Yep, that's all. So did your shocker era instantly explode? Or did it work for 2 minutes? Well, it technically works. I don't know, let's get it. Hold on. Like, it technically works. It technically works. Hold on, where's my top-down camera? I've been to Asia, but that's like the only place I've been. I haven't like gone to Europe or anywhere cool like that. Look at this big-ass thing in my... This desk is so dirty. There's like coffee spilled all over the place. The Shocker era, this is like the 5th time we've talked about the Shocker era on live stream. Shocker era. So let's turn the air off. Let's put a tank on. It does feel really good, though, I should say, going on. But it's probably because of the stainless steel, like threads or whatever. Let's put this on. We'll shoot it. I'll actually cycle through the thing. Look at this cool Gillio. We have a muffler, a cocker thread muffler. We have an impulse one or Lux. What is that? That's Angel. Auto mag. I'm gonna try to guess these. That looks like A5. Spider. Damn. I don't know what that is. That's A5. 98. Angel. Let's put that on there so that if we shoot it, it doesn't like deafen everybody. Good Lord. Let's see. See if you can hear it. You can hear that. Listen to that. I don't even know. It's really faint. That might come up. You know what I really hate about these, though? I really don't like the button. This button right here, it's kind of like, it just, you can't really feel it, and it feels like it gets stuck. Just not a big fan of the thing. Eyes. What the heck? See what I'm talking about? There we go. It just feels like it's stuck. This might be loud still. It's definitely loud. But it leaks. It's really faint. I mean, it's not like, you know, super bad. You know, what really sucks about these is, you know, back in the day you could like, you could, you know, remove the trigger frame, and then when you had the macro line right here, you could just, you know, air the gun up through the hose without the trigger frame on, and it was very easy to like pinpoint where leaks are at. But, you know, there's no... Obviously with this gun that's not the case, because when we... You know, you've got to have that trigger frame on there to just put air into the gun. And it just makes it very difficult because there's so many, like, we're going to zoom it. There's so many places that this can leak from with the frame off. It just makes it a little bit hard to pinpoint where it's leaking from. You know, it could be coming from anywhere. There's like... You know, there's a couple spots right there. There's a spot there. There's like 6 spots right there. It's like, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint where it's actually leaking from. And I can't really fix it without parts. You know, I'd like to have parts to try to fix this thing and just kind of like throw some parts at it. But it definitely makes it much more difficult when you don't really have any freaking parts. So... I'm going to try and use it this weekend, leaking like this. And then we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's not like too bad. It's not like, you know, crazy. It's just like a very slight hiss. So I presume the gun's going to work perfectly fine. But I don't know if it's going to like get worse or better or, you know, whatever. But it is brand new, you know. I'm the only person that's ever owned it, and I've ripped out the solenoid wires, and it's just crazy leaky, so I don't know. We'll see. But I really dislike the button, too. I do not like the buttons on these. It's just not very, like, responsive or something like that. Who knows? I really like the trigger though. Like the trigger's not bad. It feels pretty good. I don't really like this. Like, see if you can see that. See how much watch it bend. See it bend? Watch. Right there. Yeah, I don't really like that. I think it gives it a little bit of a mushier, like funny feeling. Solenoid manifold O-rings is my guess. I already did that. I changed them already. I changed the manifold O-rings because I had the solenoid off. I was like, well, maybe the manifold O-rings were bad. Changed those, and then I was like, I don't know, dude. We're just going to use it leaky. And then I'll get it fixed. I'll get it fixed afterwards. So I want to try to use it on Sunday. If you had the mech frame and remove the eye wires and eye board, you can submerge the whole thing in a tub. Yeah. But I still gotta have the frame on, right? Which it could kind of tell you, that's true. It could at least tell you kind of like if it's from the front or back or, I just hate it. I remember, you know, I loved the days when I could just put a hose to a gun and be like, ah, it's leaking from right there. But now it's like, I don't know, it's just annoying. But that's not like, you know, the shocker problem. That's like a every paintball gun on earth now problem. It's like they just don't have hoses anymore. Which just makes it a little bit harder to, like, you know, troubleshoot stuff. I didn't think about the mechanical frame, though. Unfortunately, I don't have one. I don't even know when they're supposed to be out. When are they supposed to be out? Ooh, you said you tested one. My Lux X has been really unreliable. Is that typical? I mean, I don't know if I'd say like it's typical of the X. I'd say it's typical of probably the Luxes maybe before that, but I really think with the Lux X's when they kind of started getting a little bit more reliable. But I still kind of think that, I don't know, it's just so hard to compare because the Planet Eclipse guns are just so much more reliable than everything. I mean, everything. So it's not going to be as reliable as like a, you know, a CS1 or whatever the gun was at the time. But I wouldn't say that they were terrible. Yeah. I don't really have a lot of experience with Luxes either. I've never owned one. I mean, I guess I have, but I've never like owned one and to play with it for 2 years or I don't know. Who knows? Leaking under trigger frame area, who knows? It's the same problem. It's the same thing. You're like, I don't know. You're just going to kind of start replacing stuff. Oh, well, you know, it's always weird for me. I don't know what to do because, like, you know, the only reason I own this gun is to review it. Like, I bought it to review, right? Like, purchased for review only. That's the only reason I have this. I would not have purchased this if it wasn't for a review, right? So, like, I buy it, and then the solenoid wires pop out, and then it leaks out of the box, and, like, do I talk about that in the review? Like, should I talk about how it didn't work out of the box and how I broke it? It's always such a weird situation, you know? Like, who knows? You know, I could have just got one that didn't work. And there could be, you know, 1,000 other ones out there that work perfectly fine. And I could have just gotten the one that doesn't work. So it's very hard to, like, you know, I don't know. Do I, like, talk about how it didn't work and stuff like that? I don't know. Moral of the story is buy Planet Eclipse even though they're boring as fuck. Yeah, I kind of agree. It is kind of true, though. I mean, at this point, it's kind of true. Yeah, I don't know. But it didn't work. It's very rare that I've gotten stuff that doesn't work out of the box. can't remember. I can't even remember. I think my LV2 didn't work. Or no, my CS3 didn't work. My CS3 also didn't work out of the box. So I don't know. I guess I got to say it doesn't work, right? In the CS3 video, I definitely said it didn't work. So, Zobit. I think there is room for anecdotal experience in your review as long as you state that's what it is. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what it's going to be anyway. You know? It's going to be like that anyway. Do I know what do I have? Do I know the actual definition of anecdotal? Am I like right on the word? Not necessarily true or reliable. Because based on personal accounts, yeah, okay. Yeah, and that's what it's always going to be anyway. Well, I shouldn't say it's not necessarily true or reliable, but it's based on personal experience. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of always like that, but I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, it's time for me to leave. I'm going to go to pizza. We're going to go to pizza at 6:30. I don't know what kind of pizza we're getting. I don't even know where we're going for pizza. All I know is I'm getting pizza tonight. I really like just regular pizza. I'm a huge fan of just pepperoni pizza. You know, I might do a meat lovers or something like that. I really like a calzone. Maybe I'll get a calzone. You always seem to get shafted with these review guns. No, I don't know, not really. I think one of the problems too, like specifically with the Planet Eclipse gun, is that like it was like the first batch and they had a problem with an O-ring and then you just replace the O-ring and the gun's perfectly fine. But this thing, it's a little bit, it sounds different than that. It sounds like it's leaking from, I don't know if I should say it's different, but it's not like the Planet Eclipse gun, it had like a wrong O-ring in the regulator, and mine I gassed it up and it was like wouldn't even hold air at all. It was just all wacky. And actually it was called Jack Wooden. We talked about it. He was in that video actually. I'd rather eat something that starts with a P and is a 5-letter word. Penis. Penis. Hi. Send you email, you not reply. That's possible. Baby apple. That's possible. In your opinion, what is the best mechanical marker? Probably the CS3. You know, but it's like $2,150. It's like $2,000. It's probably the best. But I think probably the Ether 3M is probably the best deal. My E3, I thought of E3, the gaming conference. Did they like cancel E3? My E3 recently had a slight leak from the solenoid. I don't know if there's a common issue, but it sounds like it. The Ether 3? It's also hard to say common, right? Because it's common. It's not like you're the only person with it that way. But I don't think those guns have so few problems. There's still going to be a common problem, you know, because it's kind of a spot that wears. But I don't know. I think the Ether 3s they're pretty reliable. I mean, just as reliable as anything could be. The best autococker marker, the autococker. No, definitely not. I mean, no. Nope. You know, I've had quite a few autocockers. Last time I played with a cocker, I couldn't do it. I was like trying to shoot, and the damn back block kept hitting me in the face, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" It was pretty funny. You know, cockers, you just got to be like, you got to be kind of like knowledgeable, sort of, to own a cocker too, because you got to like kind of know how to time the thing. And you know, when I was younger, when I was like, you know, started playing paintball in probably like 2002 or 3, I had an autococker, or maybe 2, And I never knew how to work on them. I never could figure it out, and it wasn't until later on that I didn't own autocockers that I finally like figured out how to fix the goddamn things. Cockers. Heck no, I'd rather have an E-mech. I'd rather have an... You know what's weird? Today, they actually last a couple days ago, we got an email from GOG Paintball, and I guess they're completely putting everything under the DLX name. So this before, this is like the Shocker era. Like, do I have like a warranty card or anything? Maybe I did have a warranty card. You know, like this thing is put out by Shocker Paintball. Actually, it's Philadelphia. This is so confusing. Let's look at the bottom of this. It says Shocker and Freak are registered trademarks owned by GI Sports and used under license by Philadelphia Americans LLC. Huh. Yeah, but we got an email this week saying that they're gonna like reorganize their company, so they're gonna get rid of all the companies and they're just gonna be all DLX. So you're gonna have like the DLX, I presume, in the future, the DLX Shocker, just like we have the DLX Lux. It's also gonna be like the DLX Freak Kit or something like that as well, which is a little interesting. I think it makes it a little bit more streamlined. But this company, I mean, this company has been like 15 different brands. It's kind of crazy. They keep like reorganizing themselves. Cockers. You know, I don't like dislike autocockers, but they're just like not reliable. They're big and heavy. And I don't know. I'd rather have an E-mech. My E-mech is really good. My Oracle cocker runs ropes to this day. It's 20 years old. Yeah, it's weird how some cockers work. It's like my friend Eric's. My friend Eric has a free flow, and one of the newer free flows, and it just works all the time. I mean, he's never timed it or done anything, and it just literally works every time he plays with it. And he probably is using it every other weekend. So it's kind of crazy how like some of them just continue to work forever, whereas the cockers that I've had seem to break within like 5 minutes of me touching the thing. So I don't know. Baby Apple again. 5th of January, I sent you an email. My name is Papillion. I don't know. I call you and that you not picked. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. But it's very possible I didn't reply to your email because I don't know. It's not personal. I just hate email and I'm so bad at everything. You're French. Okay, that helps. You sounded Chinese. I thought the English sounded Chinese. I don't know. I might not have gotten it. I mean, I send an email to brad@paintballruinedmylife.com. I definitely don't have it now. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember seeing that. I probably would have. I'd have remembered reading it, been like, this person doesn't sound American, because I only respond to people that are American. You're Chinese. I know my Chinese people. I'm going to dinner in 30 minutes with some Chinese people. 2 Chinese people. Not that that matters. Okay. I'm going to go now. I want to take a shower, and then we're going to go to dinner. Thank you very much, everyone who comes by. You know, I always say this. I really do appreciate it, though. I appreciate everyone who takes part in chatting, actually in the chat room. You know, you super chatters, or even better. I was trying to pull up all the people who super chatted, but it's not coming up. We have Steven Jackson, Curtis Sims, Jeff Knapp. I'm pretty sure that's Knapp. Steven Jackson, I already said that. Manuel, Ben Lawton, thank you guys so much. Your direct support is, you know, one of the reasons that I can do this. No question about it. And if you want to go check out Patreon, nope, I already closed all that. Go check out Patreon as well. Patreon is in a link in the description. You can win yourself a barrel coming up here pretty soon. In the next few days, probably on Monday or Tuesday, we'll have another video coming up. So thank you, everybody, very much. Make sure to like the live stream before you leave. Just, you know, hit that like button before you leave. And I appreciate everybody, and I'm out of here.